COULROPHILIA. This psychological phenomenon represents a complex intersection of fear, attraction, and the human response to masked figures. Unlike the more common coulrophobia, fear of clowns, COULROPHILIA developed as a fascinating psychological response to the mysterious and transformative nature of clown personas. The attraction often stems from the layered complexity of what clowns represent in human psychology. From a cultural perspective, clowns have always occupied a unique space in human society, embodying both light and dark aspects of human nature. They represent freedom from social constraints, the ability to express extreme emotions, and the power to transcend normal boundaries. This duality often attracts individuals who feel constrained by social norms or who seek escape from conventional behavior patterns. Psychologists suggest this attraction frequently connects to early childhood experiences and deep-seated psychological needs. The exaggerated emotions and behaviors of clowns can represent a form of emotional freedom that many people subconsciously desire. The makeup and costume serve as a mask that both conceals and reveals, creating a complex dynamic of hidden and exposed identity. The attraction often goes beyond physical appearance, delving into the symbolic significance of the clown figure. Clowns represent transformation, the ability to shift between different personas, and the freedom to express emotions without judgment. This can be particularly appealing to individuals who feel restricted in their daily emotional expression or who struggle with identity issues. Research has shown that some individuals with COULROPHILIA are attracted to the power dynamic inherent in clown performances, the ability to control emotions and reactions in others, whether through humor or fear. This aspect reveals interesting connections to issues of control, power, and social influence in human psychology. Objectophilia. This phenomenon represents far more than a simple attraction to inanimate objects. It embodies a complex emotional and often spiritual connection with non-living things. People with objectophilia experience genuine emotional bonds with objects, often perceiving consciousness or souls within them, challenging our traditional understanding of relationships and attraction. From a psychological perspective, this attraction often relates to how differently some brains process emotional connections and attribute consciousness. Many individuals with objectophilia report experiencing objects as having distinct personalities, emotions, and even gender identities. This raises fascinating questions about consciousness, perception, and the nature of emotional bonds. The condition often involves long-term, committed relationships with objects that can last decades. These relationships frequently demonstrate remarkable stability and emotional fulfillment for the individuals involved. Unlike typical human relationships, these connections are characterized by unconditional acceptance and perceived perfect understanding between the person and their chosen object. Neurological research suggests that some individuals with objectophilia may process sensory information differently, leading to unique emotional responses to objects' physical properties. This might include heightened sensitivity to textures, shapes, or other physical characteristics that most people process more neutrally. Sociologically, objectophilia challenges our fundamental assumptions about what constitutes a valid relationship. It raises important questions about the nature of love, consent, and emotional connection. Some researchers suggest that studying objectophilia might provide valuable insights into human attachment patterns and the diversity of human emotional experience.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more topics you love.
Formicophilia. This unique attraction to small creatures and insects represents a complex intersection of sensory processing, psychological response, and unconventional stimulation patterns. The phenomenon goes beyond simple fascination with insects, involving a detailed sensory and emotional response to the sensation of small creatures moving across the skin. From a neurological standpoint, this attraction often relates to unique patterns in sensory processing. The brain's interpretation of multiple small movement sensations can create distinct neural responses that some individuals find intensely pleasurable. This sensory experience often triggers the release of dopamine and other neurotransmitters associated with pleasure and reward, creating a reinforcing pattern of attraction. Psychologists have noted interesting correlations between formicophilia and other sensory processing patterns. Many individuals who experience this attraction report heightened sensitivity to touch, suggesting a possible connection to sensory processing differences. This raises fascinating questions about how variations in neural wiring can lead to dramatically different experiences of similar stimuli. But the attraction often has a meditative or trance-like quality for those who experience it. The repetitive, unpredictable nature of insect movement can create a state of heightened awareness and relaxation, similar to the effects of certain forms of meditation or mindfulness practices. This suggests potential connections to altered states of consciousness and the variety of ways humans can achieve such states. Some researchers propose that this attraction might have evolutionary roots, connecting to ancient human experiences with the natural world. The ability to remain calm and find pleasure in close contact with small creatures might have offered evolutionary advantages in certain environments, though this remains speculative. Mechanophilia. This fascinating attraction to machines and vehicles represents a complex psychological phenomenon that has become increasingly relevant in our technologically advanced world. The attraction goes beyond mere appreciation for engineering or design, involving deep emotional and sometimes romantic connections with mechanical objects. From a psychological perspective, this attraction often relates to the predictability, reliability, and perceived perfection of machines. In a world where human relationships can be unpredictable and emotionally challenging, machines offer a form of consistency and control that some individuals find deeply appealing. The precise, ordered nature of mechanical systems can provide a sense of security and stability, and the phenomenon often involves a deep appreciation for the aesthetic qualities of machines, the symmetry, the purposefulness of design, the integration of form and function. Many mechanophiles report experiencing an intense emotional response to specific aspects of mechanical design, such as the curve of a car's bodywork or the precision of an engine's moving parts. In our increasingly technological society, mechanophilia raises important questions about the future of human-machine relationships. As artificial intelligence and robotics advance, the line between living and mechanical beings becomes increasingly blurred. This attraction might represent an early manifestation of how human emotional connections will evolve in an increasingly mechanized world. Research suggests that many individuals with mechanophilia possess heightened technical intelligence and ability to understand complex systems. This raises interesting questions about the relationship between cognitive patterns, emotional attachment, and technological affinity. Dendrophilia. This profound attraction to trees and plants represents a complex psychological phenomenon that goes far beyond simple appreciation of nature. Dendrophilia involves deep emotional and often spiritual connections to trees that challenge our understanding of human relationships with the natural world. From an evolutionary psychology perspective, this attraction might be rooted in our species' long history of forest dwelling. The human brain evolved in close connection with trees, and some researchers suggest that dendrophilia might represent an intense manifestation of ancient neural pathways that once helped our ancestors form crucial bonds with their forest environment. This connection often involves all senses: the texture of bark, the scent of leaves, the visual patterns of branches, and the sounds of rustling foliage. Interestingly, many individuals with dendrophilia report experiencing trees as sentient beings with distinct personalities and emotional presences. This perception aligns with growing scientific evidence about trees' complex communication networks and social structures within forests. The attraction often involves a deep understanding of and connection to these aspects of tree life, suggesting a heightened sensitivity to the subtle aspects of plant existence. Modern research in environmental psychology has shown that human contact with trees can significantly impact mental health, reducing stress and anxiety while improving emotional well-being. Dendrophilia might represent an extreme manifestation of this natural human-tree connection. Some individuals report feeling a sense of energy exchange or emotional resonance with specific trees, similar to the connection some people feel with pets or other humans. Cultural anthropologists note that many ancient societies had sacred relationships with trees, and dendrophilia might represent a modern expression of these deep-rooted cultural connections. This raises fascinating questions about the intersection of biological predisposition and cultural conditioning in shaping human attractions. Spectrophilia. This intriguing attraction to spirits, ghosts, or supernatural entities represents one of the most complex and challenging phenomena in human psychology. Spectrophilia challenges our fundamental understanding of attraction, consciousness, and the nature of reality itself. From a psychological perspective, this attraction often involves complex interactions between belief systems, emotional needs, and sensory experiences. Many individuals who report spectrophilic attractions describe detailed sensory experiences, feeling touches, hearing voices, or sensing presences that feel as real as physical interactions. This raises fascinating questions about the nature of perception and how the brain constructs reality. Neurological research suggests that some individuals might have unique patterns of neural activity that make them more susceptible to perceiving supernatural presences. This could involve variations in the temporal lobe's function, which is associated with spiritual experiences and the sense of presence. Some researchers propose that spectrophilia might represent an intersection between these neurological variations and emotional attachment patterns. The phenomenon often involves elaborate relationship dynamics, with individuals reporting ongoing emotional and sometimes physical relationships with entities they perceive as spiritual. These relationships can last for years and involve complex emotional bonds, communication patterns, and even perceived reciprocal interactions. This challenges our understanding of what constitutes a real relationship and raises questions about the role of shared physical reality in human connections. The cultural aspects of spectrophilia are particularly fascinating, as different societies have varying beliefs about human-spirit relationships. Some cultures have long traditions of spirit marriage or spirit possession, suggesting that this phenomenon might have deep cultural roots that manifest differently across societies. URSUSAGALMATOPHILIA. This unique attraction to teddy bears represents a complex intersection of childhood psychology, comfort objects, and adult emotional development. Unlike simple fondness for stuffed animals, this phenomenon involves deep emotional and sometimes romantic attachments to teddy bears specifically. From a psychological perspective, this attraction often stems from early developmental experiences and attachment patterns. Teddy bears, traditionally serving as transitional objects in childhood, can become imbued with complex emotional significance that extends into adulthood. This transformation from comfort object to object of attraction raises fascinating questions about how childhood emotional associations evolve over time. Research in attachment theory suggests that some individuals develop particularly strong emotional bonds with teddy bears due to their anthropomorphic features and cultural significance. The soft texture, human-like face, and cultural association with unconditional love and acceptance create a powerful psychological cocktail. The teddy bear's role as a symbol of comfort and security can evolve into a more complex emotional and physical attraction in certain individuals. Modern psychological studies have shown interesting correlations between this attraction and various personality traits, including high empathy, strong imagination, and sometimes difficulties with traditional human relationships. The predictable, non-judgmental nature of teddy bears can provide a sense of emotional safety that some individuals find difficult to achieve in human relationships. The phenomenon also raises important questions about the role of childhood comfort objects in adult emotional development. Some researchers suggest that this attraction might represent a unique way of processing early attachment experiences or managing adult emotional needs through familiar comfort mechanisms. AGALMATOPHILIA. This attraction to statues, dolls, or mannequins represents a fascinating psychological phenomenon that intersects with art, human perception, and emotional attachment. Unlike simple aesthetic appreciation, agalmatophilia involves deep emotional and sometimes physical attraction to human representations in inanimate form. The psychological underpinnings often relate to the uncanny valley concept, the point where human-like figures are almost, but not quite human. While most people feel discomfort in this zone, individuals with agalmatophilia experience attraction. This raises intriguing questions about how different brains process and respond to human-like features. From a neurological perspective, This attraction might involve unique patterns in the brain's facial recognition and emotional processing centers. The static, perfect nature of statues or mannequins can trigger pleasure responses that typically activate during human interaction. Some researchers suggest this might relate to pattern recognition and idealized human forms. The cultural factors play a significant role in this phenomenon, as different societies have varying relationships with human representations. The myth of Pygmalion, where a sculptor falls in love with his creation, shows this attraction has been recognized throughout history. Modern manifestations often involve complex relationships with retail mannequins or art pieces. The advent of highly realistic dolls and artificial humans has added new dimensions to this phenomenon, raising questions about the future of human-object relationships in an increasingly artificial world. This attraction challenges our understanding of what triggers human emotional and romantic responses. CHREMATOMORPHILIA. This unusual attraction to money represents a complex psychological phenomenon that goes beyond typical materialism or financial desire. It involves a specific attraction to currency itself, the physical properties of money, rather than its purchasing power or social significance. The psychological aspects often involve complex associations between money and power, security, and social status. However, unlike common financial motivation, this attraction focuses on the sensory and symbolic aspects of currency: the texture of bills, the metallic feel of coins, the intricate designs and patterns used in various currencies. Research suggests this attraction might relate to how the brain processes reward signals. Money, being a powerful symbol of reward in modern society, can trigger unique neural responses in some individuals. These responses can become associated with pleasure and attraction through complex psychological mechanisms. From a sociological perspective, this phenomenon raises interesting questions about how deeply monetary systems have affected human psychology. The fact that some individuals develop attraction to the physical representation of abstract value suggests profound effects of economic systems on human consciousness. Modern variations of this attraction have emerged with digital currency, suggesting the phenomenon can adapt to new forms of money. This raises fascinating questions about how abstract representations of value can trigger genuine emotional and physical responses.